Welcome back. Musical artists Nelly and Ashanti are collaborating on something other than music. The couple is having a baby. This isn't Nelly's first venture into fatherhood. The 49-year-old has 5 children. However, Ashanti will be a first-time mom at 43. Tonight we ask what benefits and challenges come with other first-time parents in the same age range. Let's bring in Dr. Angela Jones. Your thoughts on this?
There's a lot of pros and cons, right? The pros are when you're older, you're a little more established.
First, let's establish what is older having a baby. Which age?
Okay, so according to doctors, after 35, you're considered geriatric. So if you're 35 and up and you're trying to have a kid, you're considered old or older. And of course, your risk factors go up. You have less eggs, you're a higher risk for miscarriages, higher risk for having a child with Down syndrome. So there are a lot of health risks that come along with having a child after 35, but it's not impossible.
Got it. And so your thoughts on having a child at an older age?
Hey, I'm in that population, so I feel like if you can have a kid at a later age, go right ahead. But there are some downfalls. You have less energy, but you have more money, right? You're a little more patient when you're a little bit older. You have, you know, sometimes a better established network. But some of the cons are when you're older, you may not have your grandparents around because your grandparents are a little bit older or they may have passed. So you don't have that same kind of support system. You may not have the same kind of young friend support system as well because you have other friends that are established, working, and they don't have time to help you like you would if you were younger. So for every age bracket, there are, you know, negatives and there are positives. But for me, personally, I feel like it's a positive.
And so were you hesitant at having one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, you get scared. I mean, there's maternal mortality. You're worried about your health. I mean, the risk of dying at childbirth is higher when you're older. So, you know, somebody like Ashanti who is 43, she has to get extra testing, extra genetic testing at that age to make sure that the baby is healthy and that she is healthy. So it is a scary thing to do. It's scary if you're pregnant at any age, but it's even more scary when you're at that age at 43, 44 trying to have a child.
And I researched and looked up the average American childbearing age, and it was 27.3.
And that's a sweet spot, right? They say a sweet spot is like between 25 and 33, right? And they say that's a good sweet spot to have a child right now. So anything earlier, before 25, you run the risk of course, you're young, you're not established, you don't have money, the list goes on. So that's a good sweet spot. So 27 is actually not too bad. That's actually much higher than what it used to be a few decades ago.
And so when you have children, say at 20, are you more likely to give them the attention they need, or are you trying to pass them off to grandma still to get to the club?
You know, it
because
depends.
You have a little club life left in you.
It depends on your support system. If you do have a grandma to pass them off to, at least they have a grandma figure in their life. But the pros about having a kid at that age, by the time you're at the late 30s, they're out of the house and you could go cruising and you're going on vacation while somebody like me is running after a 2-year-old. So, you know, there's pros and cons depending on your age. It just really depends on the lifestyle and the life that you have in your support system.
And what age would you say you would caution someone? Obviously, it's a personal decision and the individual, but what age would you caution someone at having a baby in the older range?
I mean, of course, I'm going to go by what the doctors say, anything over 35, but I definitely tell you that there's women that are 44 that's had no issues getting pregnant. It's really up to your health and what your doctor says. Make sure you get checked up. I tell every woman at 35, whether you're unsure if you're going to have kids or not, get yourself fully checked, see how everything is going, and then your body will let you know if you're ready.
All right, Dr. Angela Jones, good to see you tonight.